Hi babes, how are you? If you're new, hi, welcome. My name is Michelle, and this is a special reading. This is what for me, this is my point of view, but basically, and what you should consider before requesting a tarot reading or considering anybody, not nobody specific, to be your tarot reader. So again, this is my point of view. This is what I consider. So of course, if you don't agree with me, it's totally fine, as this is just my point of view of things. And it's okay. You're entitled to your opinion. Once again, I'm entitled with my opinion. You are entitled with your opinion. And that is basically it. So what I consider before I get a personal reading with a specific person, first of all, I do have to know that this person has been on the field for a bit, okay? How do you know that? Is people who have a following, sometimes in Instagram or YouTube or Twitter or TikTok, like somebody who has exposure. Hold on, this is my son. Exposure. And why is it so important? Because I encounter so many people who say, hey, I do tarot readings, and but the fact is that to be a good tarot reader is not being afraid of telling what you see, is not being afraid to have an open mind, is not being afraid of sometimes the reaction of people, and also, I have encountered people who say, hey, I do tarot readings, right? And unfortunately, I know that they're not as ready as I thought it was, because they do not want you to hear the ugly stuff. You know what I'm trying to say? Is everything is perfectly positive. Everything is like, there's no problem at all. And that's when you know that something in the interpretation is not correct. Because, of course, as some people could have very positive outcomes, others are not. Honestly, the cards will show you the ugly and the pretty of a situation. And when people are so afraid or unwilling to see that part, that's when I consider that I should go with somebody else who is not afraid of seeing or saying what they see, right? That's why general readings are so difficult, when people just want to make them their own. That's why I say, hey, these are all general readings, as everybody will have different outcomes, because of course it's going to pick the strongest readings, the strongest energies, not every single one of you. And that's why when people fight over their life in the comments, I laugh so much, because I'm like, I don't think they understand that general readings are not meant for a specific person only. That's why we have personal, that's why we have general, right? As according to my followers and all that, they're pretty accurate. Once again, personal readings are better if you want to deal with specific answer or situation. Another thing is, half of the time, tarot readers, at least the ones that I consider, right, that I would consider, you are open to DM them, like ask them a question, and again, you have to keep in mind that not every tarot reader has to answer DMs, right? Not every tarot reader is that way, of course, but this is just what I consider, right? Another thing, if a tarot reader does not offer free readings and you request, like you are sending a DM asking for a free question or something, do not expect an answer to that, because if they say they don't do it, you are crossing the boundary that they already put there. So do not be surprised if they don't answer you to that. But I'm talking about if you have any questions about their services and all that, they should be able to answer. As a tarot reader who does this professionally, I always try to have the best and most open relationship with my clients. Not only the people who come back to me, the new clients, because the new clients are difficult sometimes because they don't know, so you got to go over a lot of things. That's why I created my website, so it's easier for everybody. Another thing, make sure that they have a website so you can see their services and prices and all that, which I consider helpful too, but it's not the main thing, because I didn't have a website because of like scheduling issues. But once again, if they have a website, even better, because you can see what's good and what's not good. Another thing is that, again, they don't tend to bash other tarot readers with full names and all that, to get views or to get people to be drawn to them. And what am I talking about? For example, when you go across any social media, especially this TikTok, right? And sometimes you see videos and you see people saying like, oh, do not do this because I do it like that. Do not do it because, and again, when I always say this, there's specific people that say, I have never seen that. It's not always about you because I'm talking about my experiences. I'm not talking about your experiences. Again, that's why I always say my experience. If you haven't seen it, give yourself a round of applause, and that's it. Good people, good boy, good girl. But going back to this, I said what I said. I seen it, right? And I personally, I found that not professional, and I'd be like, you know what? I will never get a reading from this person because, like I said before, if they cannot respect their follow tarot reader, imagine me as a client, right? And people might say, but you're talking about this. I'm talking about my perspective of what I would do to consider. I'm not talking about anybody specific. We'll not talk about anybody specific, and it's not about anybody specific because I do not need to drag anybody into anything to give my opinions in what I feel about a situation. But once again, I've seen that, and I consider that not okay, and I will never consider somebody like that to be my tarot reader because, like I said before, you have to have respect for your colleagues. We're all here in the spiritual world here in the same realm, just trying to do our own thing, and you don't need to bash anybody. And if you need to bash anybody to bring some attention to you, it speaks volumes to me and how much I can expect over that specific reading or reader, right? And that is what I judge before getting a service from somebody. And another thing is when people say my way or the highway. People do not understand that witchcraft and or tarot readings are not a book. This is, yeah, you can learn things from books, but this is an open world here. Everybody has their own intuition. Everybody has their own interpretations, okay? Everybody does. But at the end, something will link, right? Another thing is when they don't have they don't actually have the knowledge of the meanings of the cards. Like, let's see. Let me just get something so I can show you. For example, sometimes they will show you this card, like in TikTok or whatever, and it's the devil, right? The devil is Capricorn energy, and it represents toxicity, represents danger, forbidden, it represents temptation. Of course, every single deck will have an oracle, will have not only the basic meaning, but it will always have whatever the author of whatever oracle or tarot deck you choose from has, okay? Because that's why they're so different. That's why there's like different pictures and all that. That's why when people go like, but that's not what he means. Sometimes you can be correct. Other times, this person is using the intuition. This person could be using whatever the guidebook said, besides the basic knowledge of what the card means. But when you see somebody says, let's say, oh my goodness, look, the devil. You know what this means, girl? Halloween is in the corner. He will like or she will like to dress like a little devil because you're going to have so much fun. That is not correct, okay? So you got to be careful with that kind of like tarot readers who will not want you to feel very scared about this card. Of course, you don't have to be scared of any card, but when they are unwilling or unable to give you the ugly truth because they're afraid of what people will say, those are things that you need to consider. Should I get a personal reading? Because they are not going to tell me the truth. And I like the truth. And that's why I'm so blunt in my videos. That's why people don't like me sometimes. That's why people go like, oh, that's not what I expected on the reading. I never said I was going to fulfill your needs, right? I said I was going to give you the truth, and that's what I did. So once again, that's why in my readings I'm so blunt. I'm so honest, and I explain what it is because I'm tired of seeing people, YouTube, TikTok, and a lot of things for many years saying things that is not accurate. Of course, people be like, well, it's always about love. I am a tarot reader who does more love readings. That's my forte. That's what people like, okay? I do many other things because I'm a witch. But this is what I'm not known for. So that's why I do love readings. But I do, if you sit and look for those videos. I have 640 something videos in a year. Look them up. You have multiple series and you will find things. I am 100% secure about my goddess and what she says. And I can tell you, and I'm going to tell you this in two, I am like 100. I am 9 out of 10 always right. Sorry, not sorry. But another thing is confidence in your reader. When your reader is confident in what they do and what they say, trust me, you're going to have a lit reading. But it's all about confidence and not being afraid of people being mad. Of course, there's a way to deliver things. I'm not saying to be like, throw it out there and let them bleed until they fainted, right? Not that. I'm talking about being honest of what you read with respect. Because I've been the one who had to deliver bad news sometimes, but I always try to comfort them. Another thing, when your reader is throwing stuff at you, but not and they're not as positive, right? Because when I create that bound, not that boundary, but that connection with my clients, I can feel their reaction before they even give it to me. And that's why I always try to comfort them, because I will comfort myself that way. I will comfort my son. Maybe it could be the mother in me. I will comfort anybody that needs comfort. And that's why every time I have to deliver unfortunate news to somebody, I always make sure that I try to comfort them, because it is the right thing to do. So whenever a tarot reader is just throwing stuff at you and say, okay, bye-bye, like they don't try to comfort you, I feel like I'm just a number. When that happened to me, it had happened to me, not now, it had happened to me years ago, and it stuck with me. And that's why I said to myself, whenever I decided to do this, because I always did tarot, okay? I just never did it openly because I was not allowed. If you know my story, you know my story. If you don't, look it up on my YouTube channel. But when I got that, I was like, whenever I become a YouTube channel or a tarot reader, I didn't know what I wanted to do back then. I will always comfort the person, because this person left me heartbroken. Like, I appreciate the honesty, but the way it was delivered, it could have been so many different ways. So that's why I always try to comfort my clients when they're not given the answer they wanted. And I always look for that in a tarot reader when I choose to get a reading. If you can comfort me or give me some positivity after a bad news, because it's needed, trust me, I will consider not to come back, because there's ways to deliver. And that is, for me, one of the things you should consider before getting a reading with anybody. I know that I don't know if you know, but every time you choose to get a reading with somebody, you have to make sure that person is trustworthy, because you're allowing this person to connect with your energies. As I said, the connection, right? If that person has no good intentions or so, you're allowing that in your energy. So you got to be extremely careful, babes. That's why I always said, hey, if you want an honest tarot reading, come with me and you will have the best experience ever. And I will treat you the way I want to be treated. You know what I'm trying to say? So that is why I am the way I am. That is why I offer the communication. That's why I could be unknowing with messaging you guys, making sure you still want it, making sure you're still good, making sure that you know the policy, making sure that you're okay with it, making sure that you have no questions, making sure if you need this link for payment. I always try to make it easy on my client, because it's not like, oh, she's money hungry. Sadly, we live in the world that we need to get paid to live, right? But it's not that. That is customer service. And I know it's hard to have that customer service because not everybody gives it, but I give it because I care. I care about my business. I care about you guys. I care about how you view my goddess, how you view the things that I do, right? We are the representation of what we do, and that's why I care so much. And that's why I'm not telling you to come with me only. I'm saying that if you ever consider to go with anybody, make sure those points are filled out. Make sure that the tarot reader wants to get to know you a tiny bit. Make sure that they have a little bit of communication with you. If they don't do that, I'm not sure how good of a reading I can get from that, And I know some people don't like tarot readers or readings, and I totally understand that. Like I said before, I always tell all my clients, do not use tarot readings or any source of divination as a tool for your decision making, because you are the one in power of them. Always view tarot readings in any way, shape, or form, or any source of like divination as guidance, because at the end of the day, we all have free will, and we are the one in power of our decisions and where we go and what we do, right? So this is just things that I would consider if you will ever want to get a reading with anybody. But like I said, make sure that your person that you choose has exposure, has a website if you can, has multiple platforms, is well known, is somebody that is showing you who they really are. Like me, like I said before, I think I'm gonna burp. No, I don't think so. If you find me on the streets, you won't be surprised in who I am, because I'm just me. I'm just me. I have never lied, because I just don't do that BS. I've never lied about who I am, what I came from, where I came from, my family. You know, guys, you know a lot about me. So once again, make sure that your person is open. Of course, you're not gonna sit and like interview them, but at least, you know, to know who they are and what they do. It's nice, because you're not only giving your business to a potential person, but you are also allowing them in your energies. And that is why I always say, hey, you know, I always keep in contact with people. That's why I get so tired, because I always make sure that you guys have the best experience when it comes to my readings, because of course, a representation of me, representation of my goddess, representation of my business, you know. So if you don't want to get a reading with me, I'm hurt. Kidding. But if you go with anybody else, make sure that you trust them. Make sure that if you have any other points that you consider, add them to your list. It's totally fine. But this is something that I personally, myself, and I takes in consideration before I go like, let me get her, let me get him, you know, like that. So again, like I said before, I know not everybody wants tarot readings and all that, but it's because, again, let me talk about that for a minute. There's a lot of social media throwing shade at tarot readers, throwing shade at tarot readings, right? And I get it. It's hard to believe. But the fact is that respect goes both ways. I'm not saying that you guys have to like tarot readings. I'm not saying none of that. I'm saying is that people dislike tarot, the people who do, is because they never chose the right reader, because they had the wrong perspective. There's people who get addicted to tarot readings. It's because it's, yeah, it can be entertaining and all that, but it's because they themselves have control issues. Because they themselves want to make sure that whatever it is that they're doing is going to give them the outcome they want. And when tarot readings say this and that, and especially when you do general readings, like I said before, the outcome is not always going to be for the same people. Again, when they don't receive that outcome of general readings, they get mad and they like, don't go with tarot readings, don't go with them because they suck, because it's none of that. They have control issues, and they themselves want to make sure that whatever is said, because it sounds good, it sounds appealing, is for them. And whenever the reading does not go, because it's a general reading, they get mad, and those are the people who go like, I don't like tarot readings because this and that and this and that and this and that. Keep in mind that your cards, or whatever, if you do your own readings, are connected to your energies. So if they make you feel uncomfortable, you need to clean them, cleanse your energies, cleanse your home, because it's something that is within you, that's connected to you. Because remember that these are cards, okay? We give them the intention, we give them the power, and that's why some people don't understand it. And like I said before, I can sit here and talk about this for many times and years, but I'm not doing that because I'm a single mom and I got things to do. But hey, if this was fun or interesting to watch, just click on the like. If you want more information about divination and all that, I can always make more videos about it. Again, this is just random ass video that I made. If you see it, because I decided to post it, I don't know, I was just wanting to talk. But these are things that I feel, that I actually, my opinion, what I consider. And like I said before, it don't matter. Again, it doesn't always matter if the tarot reader has 100 years doing this. If this person has never trying to open doors to different outcomes, or not outcomes, but different like perspectives, if this person is like my way or the highway, don't get a reading with them. They're not gonna make you feel better. They're not gonna make you feel understood. They're not gonna make you feel any way. You're gonna actually end up disliking the reading, disliking the tarot readings or tarot at all, just because you had the bad experience with that one person. So before you choose to do that, make sure that the person is friendly. Make sure that the person is willing to open up and understand you, make you feel understood, make you feel welcome. All of that matters. Like retail, if that person does not make you feel that, if the person is like closed in their own mind closed, not wanting to see, don't do it. Again, when you also want to get a tarot reading, make sure that you're ready. You don't have to be forced. Okay, if a friend is telling you, oh, do it, and you don't feel it's your thing, don't do it, because it's your energies who are gonna get compromised. You understand that? So whenever you decide to get a tarot reading, make sure that you are ready emotionally, physically, to accept whatever comes through. Make sure that your tarot reader is honest, and those are the things that I consider right before getting a tarot reading. Again, you don't have to agree with me. Like I said before, if you don't find this like true at all, it's fine. I'm not gonna just go to my room and cry because you don't agree with me. Like I said before, this is just my pure opinion. No shade, none of that. It's just telling you what I will do for myself. And like I said before, I love doing tarot readings. I love tarot. I do love a lot of things about divination, but like I said before, I always surrender to the universe will, and that's why I don't hate tarot, because I don't put my outcome to be the final one. Once we let go of control, we understand tarot in a better way. So with that said, I want to say something about my tarot reading, personal readings. I did close for this week. I'm not gonna do personal readings. Okay, let me start over. I do personal readings every Wednesday, but I did close for the 20th. I even closed the website because I was still getting people wanting to book with me, and I already said it. But anyways, I just make sure that I don't have to cancel because I feel bad. So I just closed the website for the 20th. On the 21st, I'm gonna open it again, so you guys can actually make appointments for the 27th of this month. For those who want it, I'm gonna take 2 weeks off, the first 2 weeks of May off. So I'm gonna disable the website again, so to make sure that nobody feels tempted. But I will actually, put it up once I'll come back from my 2-day vacation, pretty much, because like I said, I do it once a week. Again, thank you so much for those who like my readings, who come back, who love me, who likes the way I do my readings. You guys are amazing. I just decided to take a week because I was just exhausted. I do get a lot of clients because I only open once a week. I'm going to do my best as soon as I move and everything is, because I'm moving soon, manifesting that I want to see an apartment. Anyways, once all of that is settled, I'm going to be able to reevaluate my schedule and try to open 2 days a week as soon as I can. But keep that in mind that I did close for that reason. You guys have my phone number. It is on my, I always post stuff. You can always text me. You can always WhatsApp me if you have any questions about anything about my tarot readings. I'm always going to reply as soon as I can. Or you can DM me, my social media here, my Instagrams. Once again, thank you so much. I love you guys so much. And I just wanted to let you guys know why I closed, because I was just exhausted, and when I'm gonna be closing again and when I'm gonna be opening. And again, the first part of the video, if you're still to this part, it was just my personal opinion over what I would consider before getting a reading with anybody. But if you want to get a reading with me, you'll love it. You see it's so worth it. But anyways, I love you guys so very much. You guys have an amazing day, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.